The blogosphere. I am DBJ. Welcome to RPG with DBJ. I am your host to this channel, and today is Third Pillar Thursday. It's actually one of my favorite days because I am your self-appointed third pillarist of the tabletop RPG community. Well, what does that mean? Well, on Third Pillar Thursdays, we get to talk about using the environment, that third pillar of gaming. And of course, we have to relate it to our current subject, and that means we're talking about teleportation. Wait, today's not Thursday. Today is Wednesday, so why is my... Oh, I guess I... That's strange. Okay. I... That's bizarre. Maybe that's because it was in my thing. All right, let's rewind. Today's World Building Wednesday. Okay. Today's World Building Wednesday. I got a little too excited there. I had my foot on the gas, trying to get ourselves to move forward in time. Well, which is possible through some, I guess, depending on your teleportation or portal. World Building Wednesday, we were talking about teleportation, portals, warps, the whole 9 yards. Now, if you tuned in Monday or Tuesday, we talked about the ubiquity of teleportation in a tabletop RPG game. Talking about things from from far-ranging and science fiction, medieval times, and as a matter of fact, maybe even some of the problems and issues and some of the limitations we get to add in to a world in which the player characters and maybe sizable sections of the population are able to transport themselves from one place to another. But today we get the world build, and so the rule du jour today is that when world building, we're going to build a world in which instantaneous transportation in whatever form we decide is a thing that society has. Whether it costs a lot of money or energy, doesn't matter. Infinite says teleportation deals with warping time and space, DBJ. So you're really going in deep. That's why you thought it was Thursday. I sure as hell did. Oh man, Ricker says now this I have a few different takes on as I've been working on the setting built around portals. Yeah. Pelora goes on. Says teleporting would be my superpower of choice. Yep. Or speed. It breaks less physical rules. Don't have to deal with thermodynamics of the same level. And hell, Joe Keenan the other day responded talking about how much it would affect society. Now, we're going to go under the presumption that the heroes, the protagonists of the game, right, player characters, they will have some sort of personal or efficient access to teleportation, with society maybe having... It should have a cost, right? Like every single human being can't just snap their fingers. Maybe it costs as little as a plane ticket to maybe as much as a very expensive automobile or home. Yeah, Rickard's like, I second teleportation as my superpower. Hell yeah. I mean, sure, as a kid, we're like, I want to turn invisible and I want to fly, but listen, when we get older, it's like, yeah, I just want to be there. You know how much time we spend traveling just to do what we want to do? I mean, I couldn't imagine I don't think we would want to know the mathematical formulae it takes to go to the places we want, whether it's a matter of, I'm going to get up and walk into the other room to get a meal, and then I'm going to get up and walk to the other room and wash up and get dressed, and then I'm going to walk down the street and ring a doorbell, and I'm going to get in a car and drive somewhere. We spend a lot of time moving before we get things done to get the thing done that we have to move yet again to get something else done. So if we had teleportation, hell, what's the movie I keep picking on? Jumper. In Jumper, when the kid's at his he's at his very expensive condo that, of course, he's stolen money and gotten. I mean, he grabs food from the kitchen and literally jumps in the air and teleports I don't know, 5 arm lengths just to land in this couch to get the remote so he can start, watching his favorite television. Did he walk around the couch? Hell no. He could just pop in and out. So why wouldn't you do that? Yeah. Yeah. And if it says, oh my God, I travel every day, almost as many hours as I work. Yep. Yep. Uh, I, I'm telling you, just travel itself would just cease. But the problem, not problems, the things we would cause along the way, the the broken promises, the the expectations. What was mentioned the other day, the idea that people would become so impatient that they couldn't wait 25 seconds for you to pop to Italy to pick up an officially cooked Italian meal from a great chef just to come back here because they paid you for like Grubhub or something. Like, the annoyance of travelers waiting for their turn into the teleportation booth to take them around the world or the galaxy, and they're like, oh, 45 seconds. Oh, I need to speak to a manager. You know what I mean? Pelora says, I spent nearly 2 hours getting to my role-playing group last week because of traffic. Yep. Should have been 45 minutes. Teleportation would be so very handy. I'd also be less late. I'm always late. I've just accepted that as part of life. If you had teleportation, I'm thinking being late would be much more of a faux pas than it is today. I mean, like you said, you spent time in traffic. Everybody spends time in traffic, in line, in you know, pressed up against humanity in whatever way and form it is. So we've come to accept it. I mean, hell, there's been plenty of times I go to work and we have a highway. It's 70, but we all live near some sort of roadway or highway. And once there's a major accident, it's like, oh, my other 6 coworkers, yeah, they're late because they're on the highway. And lo and behold, that's the reason why. If you had teleportation, when you're 5 minutes late, everyone's looking at you like, mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't traffic. You could arrive on the roof of the building and teleport here just like everybody else. Um, yep, being late's fashionably late. Yep. Oh man, Rickard says, "Ooh, there's this cool event in City X, and friend Y is bored and wants to do something in City Z. No problem. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Trying to navigate that unless you're a very popular person, in which case everyone assumes that I don't understand why you can't be here because you could just literally pop in, no problem. Yeah, just stop by for 5 minutes. It shouldn't take you that. It's not out of your way, because now nothing will be out of your way. You just teleport in, and don't forget to dress properly. You're gonna need like umbrellas, snowshoes, Bermuda shorts, suntan lotion, a winter scarf, like depending on where you go and how you get there. You might need a backpack full of being appropriately dressed, unless fashion starts to change. So you can, like, the pants with the little zippers around the kneecap, so you could turn them into shorts or something. Maybe that becomes a thing. Oh man. Yeah, Tesla Rangers. Like, imagine the lines of the transporters in Star Trek during rush hour. Hey, listen. They don't show you, but how long's that line for the crew when they're like, what? We get to go down to, I don't know, the pleasure planet of Baklithith or something like that. The whole crew is like packed up against the teleporter, like, come on, come on, I'm trying to get off the ship. Yeah, exactly. That line and the line going into the holo chamber. Yeah. Rickard's like, ooh, it's 5 minutes until the thing starts. I've got time to do X. Teleportation takes no time at all. Yeah, there's a lot of that too. It's 5 minutes. I'll see you 8,000 miles away to do a thing before my show starts or something, or whatever. Oh, Pelor says, can I bamf a drum kit? Because I'm sick of carrying that stuff around. Yeah. We talked about that, dude, about childbirth. Ooh, yeah, kind of dark too. Um, I brought up. I'm going to bring up the image again. The image of a person in a various stages of pregnancy being cattle prodded by a faceless corporation, and either the child and or the mother being transported inadvertently away from their child, or the child away from. Yeah, that's where we start to get a little deep and dark, right? And so in this world, let's presume this world, we have to come up with some form of transportation. So let's allow this world to have teleportation as an energy source. Ricker says no teleportation allowed while pregnant. You could have a law, I suppose, although how many people would follow that law, I don't know. Um, let's presume there's some technologies that allow them to harness this power, and maybe the technology caused a side effect to certain individuals that could do it on their own, or vice versa. Maybe there are people who can do it. They, I joked about using the word jantiers, but yeah, maybe people can spatial jaunt and jump, and technologies have been built off of the quantum rips in time and space, and so there are technologies to do it. So I'm thinking that for large scale transportation, people would have to stand in lines. Like they would have to. Uh, it would be no different than your local train, bus, depot, cruise line. Like people with their luggage would have to wait, save up quite a bit of money to instantly transport themselves somewhere else. So the longest period of that transportation probably would be the waiting in line, the paying for it, the arranging, the scheduling. But if they really wanted to leave their, I don't know, very cold home and go to the tropics, they could step through a portal, but they would just have to save up the ducats to do it, right? Um, and so I'm thinking the richer you are, the greater access you have to it. So we're talking major CEOs, politicians, um, shadowy organizations. They would probably either employ individuals like bodyguards, people walking around with them, and then office buildings and important locations may have like barriers and or teleportation doorways themselves. Yeah, Ricker says no teleportation allowed while pregnant, or the infant spontaneously teleports after birth, which, yeah, yeah, is the is the first jump spawned by trauma, which a child probably would feel themselves going through it, which would be pretty nasty in and of itself. Although a corporation that's able to snatch those kids out of the quantum sphere and put them into tanks to grow them and or raise them as loyal agents would be pretty nasty as well, especially if mom and son somehow are able to, they're like quantum entangled maybe. um, Pelor says a few things have translocation sickness. I think Unreal Tournament does. The corporations just don't care that the athletes get paid enough. Like concussion in boxing, just part of the game. Yeah, here concussions in American football the same way. Uh, yeah, there could be quite. We talked about quite a number of different elements of translocation sicknesses, whether it's true sickness like vertigo, vomiting, cramps. It could be cellular degeneration over time, rapid aging, kind of progeria kind of thing. It could be extreme energy and or temperatures, meaning like someone jumps through a portal and they're like they almost get frostbite on the other end of it. They could have lots of internal bruising. They could, I don't know, hell, they almost catch on fire, or their clothing catches on fire, or they are. It's like a electric shock to their system by stepping through, and so we we brought up those things as being like character elements, which definitely I would include in there, and of course affecting the environment itself. Is there a rush of air, a clap of lightning? If you jump, do you knock sensitive things off of tables wherever you arrive? Do you set off car alarms or something? How much noise does it make? Does it have a scent to it? And of course, the background radiation. Like, can it be detected through like quantum filters, electromagnetic pulses, chemicals, that kind of thing? Yep. Tesla says use a medical transporter to beam out tumors or foreign objects. Yeah, I could see that using like a version of an MRI type machine with little with empty tubes attached to it, and tumors and other foreign objects will appear inside of the little tube, so they could just collect them and then do like little biopsies on those things. Hell yeah. And you would still need medical professionals to three-dimensionally pinpoint the tumors and not remove, I don't know, someone's heart or a piece of their lung or their liver by accident. um yeah, if it is like Magic the Gathering, like summoning sickness for teleportation, hell yeah, of course, of course. And we mentioned before, maybe there's a character like die roll or resource you expend to not suffer the summoning sickness. Like, oh, I've got 16 points of uh, we got to give it a name. 16 points of I don't know, jump fatigue that I can offset with my physicality or something, and just give it a title or a name and a number of points that you can get back through like a rest period, long short rest kind of thing. And once you run out, you know what, remember those cramps you were getting in your stomach, or remember that you know black lightning that would strike you as you jump through your portal. Well, going to start suffering from that. um, yeah. If Infinite Roleplay talks about, what about the con conservation of momentum? I don't know. If you're driving in a car going 50 kilometers or 70 miles an hour, do you maintain that momentum when you jump out of you transport yourself out of the car, co-locate out the car? Yeah, no, because whether you transport yourself away from the brick wall you're heading towards, your body's still going to impact something. So do you jump over a body of water, or jump into a mattress factory or something? You'd have to figure something out. Maybe you've purchased or stolen a couple of half dozen mattresses for the purpose of conserving your energy, so you can teleport to your haven and bounce off of the soft padding you have against the wall. I don't know. Uh, Ouch, your parents know where you are no matter where you teleport. Yeah. Johnny! Yes? Get home! I told you not to transport yourself around the world. You were supposed to stay in this continent. I'm sorry, Mom. Yeah, no matter where you go, there you are. Joseph Keenan says, always come in a moment. Lactose intolerance cramps. Heck yeah. You don't want teleportation dysentery. That's the worst, because you just track that stuff everywhere you go. Yeah. He says, not me. The character with those cramps knocked them on their butts for a good hour or three. Yeah. Feels good to get there. No, it feels good that you step there, but the next couple hours afterwards, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna need a restroom. Yeah. Oh, Plur says, I always like the idea of large teleporting suit, which makes a sound like thunder when you use it. That's like, well, we were bringing that up about, sure, we as game masters instantly think of all the problems with teleporting, but if this is a society in which it's used, like you said, teleporting suits, they're going to be mercenary groups, there's going to be security, governmental agencies, both above board, like police, SWAT, fire, medical. They're going to be hidden things like, the CIA, MI6. You're going to have yourself spies and those kind of things. You're going to have criminal organizations using it, um, uh, corporations with their little hidden agendas using it as well. So absolutely, they're going to be, if the PCs can naturally do it, mutant wise, right? It's in their genetic structure to do it. You're going to have people with various levels of technology. For example, we talked about teleport tracking, that you could track someone through a quantum tunnel and just track them down through the more they use the same quantum tunnels, you could track them. Maybe people have a teleport signature, so it like a fingerprint. You know that they've arrived. It's been 3 weeks, but you know your quantum scanners, the I don't know, the law enforcement picks up your quantum signature that's been fading for the last 3 weeks, but heck, you've been to this room 38 times, so they know who you are. And they also may start to triangulate, like assemble a web of your most common destinations or something. Um, Joseph says, Larry Niven did that with the bad cell replication for an anti-aging device, removed damaged cells. Yeah, and Pelora kind of attaches that. Could you imagine the obesity problems if people could teleport? You know, the the answer would be yes, because you wouldn't really need to walk anywhere, let alone physically exercise, if you could just teleport to every food item you want. Every food item would be within reach. All the people who are sitting on their couch going, I feel like a pizza, but I really don't even feel like getting up to go get it and have it ordered. Now, you just type on your phone. You don't even have to worry about it getting delivered. The minute you get a text message that it's done, you just teleport to the place, mind you, in your chair. Maybe if you could take heavy items with you, pay for it, and then teleport home. Maybe your local takeout has teleportation circles for you to just arrive so they can hand you your food so you can teleport back home, which would get rid of the delivery services. Unless the delivery service people, since it's not available to everyone, they could make quite a killing on it. They could. It would be like a global grub hub, or DoorDash, where you order food from anywhere in the world, have it cooked and then brought to you, no matter where it's from. So a lot of high-end restaurants would be selling those items to customers around the world pretty darn instantly. Chosakita says, usually teleportation is shown as being quiet. The Black Lightning comment, have it loud and showy like the quickening in Highlander. Hell yeah. And those could be like character traits or skills, or like each person has their own. You could numerate the traits of teleportation, meaning like you have to spend 15 points on the side effects of your teleportation. So I only want to spend 1 point because I want to on noise or stealth, because I want to be really quiet. But that means I've got to put my 8 points on disruption, or jump scarring, or you know fatigue loss, or mass co-location. Like, how much mass can you take? Can you take 5 pounds or kilograms, or can you take 5,000? In the movie Jumper, you saw someone literally go to the middle of a random road, jump in, take a truck, and teleport that truck onto, like, damn near the moon's surface or something like that, right? Like, it's it. How good are you at transporting a car, driving at 100 miles an hour? Or do you teleport and don't take any clothes with you? So I could see doing that, having that be a skill side effect. So some people are just better at it than others. Some are maybe quicker at it than others. So Yeah, Ricker says depends on how much energy teleportation consumes. teleporting teleporting ballot papers when you vote. Yeah, impulse buying things will get you instantly. Yep, impulse buy. Oh wow, yeah. I feel like pizza. Yeah, but you look like a watermelon. Oh man, the world of Wally. That's really bad. Ricker says could be that you'd have to eat like you were a high level bodybuilder, so be able to teleport around a few times a day. Ooh, leaving maybe there's a subtle leaving behind of your genetic materials, like when you teleport you're burning energy, like you said, like you're a high level bodybuilder or high level athlete of some sort. That's I like that idea. It makes sense, especially if you design this in a game and all the PCs look at you like this setting sounds awesome, but like, do we all have to be like super heavy and obese? And you're like, all right, fine, fine. It burns calories, great. you know. Oh man. Oh, let's see. Joseph Keita says it wasn't it a Simpsons or Family Guy episode where someone used a teleport portal from the easy chair to the toilet. Oh no, no, no! You can't listen. You can't put like a lounge chair slash toilet bins under the chairs and just have like teleportation holes for it so you don't even have to get up. That's really bad. Yeah, Joseph Keenan says a noisy teleport could negate using it as a stealth infiltration. No, I'm with you on that one in terms of it could make like we're saying it can make audio noise, like it actually is uh, audio and verbally loud. It could create a lots of disruption, like knocking things over, clap of thunder kind of thing. The intake, the instant sucking in of air when you leave, and the disruption of air when you arrive by blasting it out. Um, it could also have some sort of radioactive or electromagnetic side effect to it, so that when you teleport into a building, power goes out, there's a brownout, phones get disrupted, security systems go off, automobile alarms get set off as well. So yeah, all of that, those things could offset the stealth infiltration thing, as well as the fact that if this society has people running around teleporting, the idea of Faraday cages around buildings would be a thing where you're unable to teleport into, oh, I don't know, the CIA headquarters, or into prisons, or into a police headquarters, or something they're going to have some kinds of defenses, and those defenses may paralyze you or shunt you off into a certain location. For example, a police headquarters may have a number of jail cells, and anybody that tries to transport themselves into governmental agencies automatically gets shunted into a four-walled place, and they start shaking their heads like, here we go with another kid trying to teleport into police headquarters. Those kind of things as well. And of course, being stunned, being trapped, having your jumping ability um, turned off for a certain amount of time after getting zapped from trying to go into no jump zones. North Korea would be an example of a giant nation surrounded by no jump zones. Uh, those kind of, maybe they're like giant monolithic towers, like radio towers, or like the planes use, except they send out pulses that cause psychic disruption, or send off a sound wave that disrupts the inner ear, or they're like quantum tunneling disruptors that, sure, you could try to jump around them, but your targeting is going to be well off from where you intended to go, or something like that. Um, Yeah, Rickard says Terminator time travel is definitely not stealthy. Both naked, biological, and lots of lightning and cracking of the earth, right? So you could, some people may be skilled at teleporting very quickly or slowly. A slow teleport, meaning like it takes a lot of concentration, a lot of powering yourself up, and then transporting, where somebody else could just like Nightcrawler band fall around, like poof, 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 blinking. Some might be be some might be limited to line of sight. Oh, I can see across the street. Poof, 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 poof. Whereas others are like, oh, you need to go many leagues away. Come on, bring the family. Hey, everybody get in the car, or teleport box or something. I'll take you there. You know. Scott Post says, my world has old teleportation pads for caravans from an earlier age. Each one is only connected to one or two others, allowing a jump to, which are now ruins, different civilized areas, connecting remote trade routes and things like, yeah. Absolutely. The Stargate Farcaster idea is a great one too, where you can only transport yourself to a pad or through a portal. The teleport circle idea, right? And the limitation on that may be that if technology or rituals or magic or what have you is available, that you have to physically travel to the place you want to go to set up the portal to then make instant transportation possible, right? So if you want player characters to go to other worlds, maybe they have the ability to do it on their own, but there's no backup, but they have to go there to set up the chamber that allows reinforcements to get there, which would be a great limitation on not being able to just transport an atomic bomb into the headquarters of the enemy and leave. You actually have to physically get through the enemy's defenses, get into their main location, set up the chamber, which could take minutes, hours, days, weeks, set it up, power it up, and then you can get the armada through, or wheel in the atomic weapon and then detonate it, which by that point is probably useless, right? Man, yeah, Plur says in StarCraft, the protest teleporting basically prevents you from moving, and you're vulnerable until you're finished warping in. That could also be a thing, much like respawning in some video games, where it's like there's this like fade in where you can't move, but you're also untouchable, but you are slowly fading in, much like the transporters in Star Trek too, right? The person seems to disappear, and there's an energy, and your hand moves through them, and then they appear somewhere else, but it takes a little while for the energy waves to go through as their body recombines. So that's what I mean by speed of teleporting. That yes, you can transport yourself from one place to another, but it might take you, for example, game time, it might take you, die roll, 4 rounds to complete the transportation, to fully transport yourself from one place to another. The intervening time, maybe you're untouchable. Maybe you go into the ethereal realm, or you're just incorporeal or something, or you literally disappear, and it takes 18 seconds for you to then reappear in the other location. You know, hey, I'm gonna jump to that other building, and then you're counting 1, 2, 3, and now the person who did it, it feels like it's instant for them, like in their mind, oh, I'm just gonna jump through a portal. But the rest of us are like, okay, they jumped out off the building rooftop, disappeared, and now we've got to wait exactly 18 seconds, and 17, 18, and then they appear on the other rooftop, you know. Joseph Keenan says, "Oh man, you can only you can only teleport to the west, rotation of the Earth." You know what? I use that concept in a spiral the idea for a spiral arm empire, where the galactic spin is you can negate the galactic drift of your starships, so the starships can only travel in one direction very quickly, but you have to travel very far in the other direction. So the spiral arm empire traveled like drifting away from an island, but getting back to civilization actually takes you like 10, 15, 20 times longer to get back. So yes, you could do the do the teleport only west kind of thing. That would be kind of funny, but a great limitation. Rickard says, I need 10 family-sized pizzas with extra everything and supersize the soft drink. Lots of teleportation today? Yeah, go from New York to Sydney, back for a business trip. Hell yeah, no excuses. Oh, I forgot to pick up. Doesn't matter. Man, what kind of trouble? How many times have there been cases of, especially in very hot locations, where people leave their kids in the car because they've went about their day? This would actually, while easy to save the kid, would be even worse, because it's not even like a person driving to the local mall, or driving to their job and leaving their kids in there. They actually strap their kids in and teleport away. And they're just like, yeah, it would give new meaning to the lost and found office at the local airport teleport location. Tesla Ranger says, jump beacons, a bonus to jump to it, penalty to avoid it while teleporting through its area of effect. Oh yeah. Now jump beacons could be a good thing, much like, I'll bring up the Eiffel Tower idea, right? It could be a natural occurrence of a location, much like Stonehenge. Maybe it's just a natural confluence, like a ley line, where it's very easy to jump to it because of the natural magnetic earth or arcane casting, or maybe it's caused by so many people going there. The Eiffel Tower idea, which I'm getting back to. Maybe so many people jump there that it has created like a quantum beacon, so it's very easy to get there because so many other people did it. But like you said, it's a penalty to avoid it. So security forces, Stonehenge, the Bermuda Triangle, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, the pyramids in Egypt or something. Maybe they are just like quantum black holes, gravity, as a sort of gravity that pulls you towards them, willingly or not. And some of them could be activated once, big bad major corporation realizes that people are trying to get in. Once they flip the switch, the Faraday cage opens up, and people who were trying to infiltrate end up getting sucked back into I don't know, the military vans of the local black garbed mercenary groups. So they get in the unmarked van, turn on the beacon on the top, and then hilarity ensues as the PCs start trying to teleport and jump across the rooftops, only to transport themselves and appear inside of the the black unmarked vans or something. So that'd be kind of, I like that idea, especially if they appear on the outside of the van and slam into the outside of the van, like they half avoided but half didn't avoid it. And every time they run around the corner away from the black garbed mercenary groups, they end up teleporting like within hands reach of the guards back at the military van. You're like, damn it. They keep trying to run away as the guards try to grab them, and they disappear again, and then 10 seconds later, zoom, bam, right back into the van. Like, damn it again. Oh man. Pelor says, I wonder what it would do to cities. Seems to be that populations would be more spread out if you could teleport to work. There's no need to think about where you live in relation to it. That Joseph Keenan brought up the idea of jumping away from your problems. And I agree, populations could live anywhere they wanted, deep under the oceans, the highest mountain peaks, the furthest deserts. You could live in the most exotic locations for the rich and elite who have access to the valets and the butlers that jump for them if they can't do it themselves. They're teleportation services. You could also, but there's another problem. The cool thing is you could live anywhere, and where you could just teleport to work. The bad thing is environmental mistakes, crime, um, earthquakes, places of devastation, much like hurricanes, fires, mudslides, so on and so forth, right? You could, instead of confronting those locations, you could just teleport away from them. So I would say the downtrodden would live in the worst locations, and then the rich and famous would live in the most exotic locations, leaving the environmental disasters and hazards and things to those who don't have access to it. Oh, what is that? A forest fire destroying like 8,000 acres of location? Let's just leave. Like, why? We don't even have to live here anymore. You know, um, what are we dumping massive amounts of poisonous lead into Detroit cities? Well, isn't it your fault for living there? Can't you just jump away? Maybe there's something wrong with you for living in a city that's got dangerous amounts of lead in the water system. Like who cares? Whole cities might be vacant because of it. Uh, simply simply due to the ability to leave those places. So that'd be kind of cool. And a really strange new city layout and formats. Um, you could have, if you had jump portals, you could have office buildings and homes that literally have each room in a different location around the world or galaxy. You could have office buildings without elevators and just portals to get from floor to floor, especially the people who live at the very top. My penthouse doesn't have an elevator. The only way to get there is to come through a portal to get to it. Um, one of your penthouse rooms could be the highest points in the Himalayas, just because. You could have another room that's in a off of a tropical beach. You just step through it and you're on the beach, and then step back through your portal. Yeah. So yeah. Let's see. Joseph says, yeah, Stargate, you need the phone number of the place you're going to. Yeah, definitely. You got to dial in the phone number. You can set the one in your home to airplane mode to keep away the Jehovah's Witnesses from knocking on your door. Ooh, ow. Ow, Joe. Wow. Seriously? But yes, a real thing. Just you, when the person goes into the airport and flashes their black card, everyone's like, "Ooh, they get to go wherever they want." And you could flash your card, type in your destination, and then block people coming in from coming after you have already gone through your own portal. So you could have a running battle where the PCs are trying to go after an enemy. The enemy flashes their black card, runs through, the PC jumps through the same portal, but they end up 5,000 miles away in a distant city. Now they have to maybe hack the system or investigate the the sealed records of the person with the mysterious black card, where they can go wherever they want to go, but with a basically unlisted number. Um, yep. Telefrag your cat when you get home from work. Okay, I'm going to assume that you meant to type that in exactly as it spells. Yeah. Oh, you're so wrong. Although you don't have to walk your dog anymore. You could just be like, what is that? A dog park? Just open up the portal, kick the dog. You could have teleport doggy doors, so the dog could run out to the dog park, hang out with the other dogs, and then walk back through the dog door back home. I suppose if you have enough cash to do it. Um, Teleport your cat away from your lap at work when the boss shows up. Oh no. Um, okay, here's something even worse. Um, you could, if someone is having an affair with their Mr. and or mistress of sorts, their illicit significant other, they could each transport themselves away from each other in case someone knocks on the door. Um, Ooh, flash mobs. Ooh, massive looting at disasters. Ooh, That's terrible. That is so terrible. No, no, no. You can't do that. Oh, that's massive looting at disasters. People just jumping in, stealing crap, and leaving. Wow. Um, Savage Worlds has interludes. You know, players tell a story, like when healing at the camp. Teleport is instant to an outsider, but it's a flashback episode to the character. 5 minutes in real time. Oh, I could. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good gaming slash narrative element, right? It's instant for us. Person, they disappear. Hey, I'll be there shortly. But like you could do it like a flashback. I like that. Oh man, the most Rickard says the most travel depends on teleportation, and the more teleportation is restricted, the more isolated the cultures would become. And the reverse is true if everyone can teleport at will. It would become one giant monoculture, as there's no boundary for individual cultural expression to take hold. I actually absolutely agree with you that there would be like a monoculture because I don't know other languages, but if I start teleporting to Greece, Italy, Madagascar, Thailand, and eventually they will end up learning my language and I will learn theirs to the point where it will become one mono pigeon language over time. And then while you would have to actively hold on to more culturally specific things, much like a restaurateur specializing in a specific food type, as opposed to, say, Americanized restaurants that have a little bit of everything in them, you know? So, yeah, I could see that. And like you said, if teleportation is restricted, you may have a lot of isolated communities, or maybe there are people who specifically are known as isolates because teleportation is so rampant. They're just like, I just need to get away. Just just put up the Faraday barriers and get the hell away from everybody else doing their thing. I could see that being a must-have. Much, I mean, let's be frank. Much of today's rich and famous and privileged individuals who have lots of money use their money to restrict themselves. I want to be in first class where there's fewer people and more legroom. I shop at places that have very few things hanging on the racks. I eat at restaurants where very few people can afford to go there. I travel to places where very few people can afford to vacation. So I could imagine there would be plenty of places that are restricted for no other reason than for the people who can afford or have the connections to get there in the first place. So I'm with you there, Rickard and Joe. Yeah. Um, Blink cat. Telefrag by your cat as they teleport to your lap. Yeah, you hear that, kitty? Yeah, you'll teleport on my lap with your claws out for no good reason, because you already do that. Um, Josephina says, never underestimate the lengths that some people will go through to make a quick buck. Ooh, the looting. Yeah. I know a few hillbillies in my neighborhood that will do that. That is so wrong. Hey, dude, listen. You make fun of the hillbillies, but much like Rocket City is here in Alabama, I believe it's in Alabama. Um, for those, slight segue. For those who don't know, there's a place called known colloquially as Rocket City. It is one of the. It's in the South in the states, and it has the highest population of highest IQ individuals living there, and they are very, I'll say hillbilly because you brought that up, Joseph Keenan, and there's a hell of a lot of hillbillies that are brilliant. Don't listen. They are going to teleport in and steal things, loot things, and kit bash the hell out of like I could imagine like those like multi-million dollar automobiles on bricks outside of like the houses because they've like teleported and stolen like high-end 12-cylinder engines from like Mercedes and McLaren and stuff like that. just sitting on bricks. Like, is that a what's the car? Bugatti Veyron or whatever it is. A couple of Bugattis sitting up on bricks, and like, sure is. Twee. Yep, pick them up from a house fire over in Britain. Yeah, man. Every earthquake, man, people are just like jumpers jumping in, stealing shit and stuff. Like all those fires that happen out in the in the mountains and far west in the states and stuff. I'm sure it happens around the world. Oh man, that's terrible. But you're so right. Um, yeah, Joseph Q said, yeah, you went where I was going to go. Gutter speak in Shadowrun or Blade Runner or better Creole in the Expanse. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh hell yeah, there would be that weird hodgepodge. I, I would I would dare say that there would be a street underworld language used only amongst the jumpers because um, you would need language to describe three-dimensional spaces in time and place, and describing the best places to loot, best places um, to vacation, to the best places to get past uh, security services or gaps in those Faraday monoliths or something, you know. So yeah, I think you would have I think you would have a subclass of language. Hell, I bet graffiti would turn into a new graffiti slash hobo language, would mark buildings and locations, and they would be marked in the very oddest places. 80 stories in the air on the side of a building would be spray painted to give transporter people jumping notification on where to go and what to watch out for and stuff. Oh man. You guys talk about blink cats. Leave the blink cats alone. They just appear. Just give them head scratchies. That's all. That's all it takes. Um, oh man. Rickard says, for reference, telefragging is a way of dying in games that have spawn points or teleportation spots where the player instantly goes splat when a new player teleports in to the same place. I didn't see that shows how old I am. I didn't realize telefragging was a term. So you would, if there's no defenses against it, telefragging would be a thing by security forces and military and stuff, right? Someone strapped with a bunch of explosives jumps in and then either leaps out of their own clothing or backpack or opens up a portal, throws the explosive through the portal, and then instantly shuts the portal and lets the explosive go off. The first time that happens would probably be the last time that happens, because there's no way anyone's going to allow some random teleporter person to throw, I don't know, human feces at someone's face and then disappear and not have any ramifications for it. So yeah, Deadman says Rocket City is the nickname of Huntsville, Alabama. Yep. And of course there's a television show about it, and for NASA recruited quite a number of individuals from there because they say that there are um, whole swaths of the population where you can go into, like, you know, a diner or something, and they are just filled with geniuses. Um, Hicksville like geniuses, you know, which is a great thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, yep, teleporter hacker speak. Heck yeah. Oh yeah. Um, Yeah, have to kick the cats off my lap and split. But oh yeah, but also teleport for rescuing people from burning buildings, buried in earthquake rubble. Oh yeah, hurricanes, fires, like you said, auto accidents, building collapsing, bridges going out, um, train derailments, chemical spills. I think a whole class of it would bring literally a new meaning to first responder. I could imagine a global first responders unit whose only job it is to respond first after or just before an avalanche or a ship sinking or, like, volcanic eruption, tsunami, a plane about to fall out of the sky with problems, and the first responders literally appear inside of the cockpit and cabin of a major airline to try to grab as many people and or open up a portal and dump as many people through the portal to save their lives. So yeah, absolutely. Dead man puts in telefrag from Team Fortress 2. I honestly I did not know of that terminology, so I learn something every day from you guys. Yeah. What do you say? Uh, Ricker says, don't even need to do that. You just teleport into an occupied square, and whatever occupied that square, if biological, goes splat, and now you're standing there, a la Killer Blink Cats on steroids. Well, it depends on how your teleport works, right? If you are the teleportee, do you destroy the biological material you transport into? Do you combine with it? Does it move out of the way? Do you, the teleportee, get shunted to another place? So it behooves us to interact. You're going to have to answer that question nearly immediately at your session 0, because a player character is absolutely positively going to carry around themselves a lead pipe or a brick or a grenade or heck a bag of Doritos, and they're going to teleport that inside of the very first person that gives them the stink eye. So yeah. um Rick was saying, yeah, just saying how telefragged worked. Yeah. No. Um, I'm with you, and I, I think we came up with probably 20 or 30 teleport skills. Like that might maybe most people get shunted to the side, but yeah, so Ricker says, so if you have a turn telefrag turned on, things get really scary. Maybe there's some people who are really good at it. Like normally you would get shunted to the side and suffer excruciating pain through your nervous system for just attempting to combine your biological body with somebody else, but maybe somebody's really good at it, and or it costs them a lot of energy or something, and they can just like, you just see them working, and they're just like, it looks like they're straining on the toilet. They're like, ah! And everyone's like, oh no, he's gonna telefrag, run for it. And the bully in high school's like, oh shit, I am foobarred. you know Yeah, man. Hey, Bollocks, what's going on? That's right. That's right. Dang, we all still teleport? Hey, we're teleporting all week long, dude. So, yeah, I even teleported into the future by accident at the beginning of the of the stream, so whatever. Uh, but yeah, we're world building a society of teleporting conditions and stuff. Um, like you guys were talking about, whole cities would change. Even hell, man, would I'm thinking there would be some cities that would be completely empty if you didn't have to live there. People wouldn't live there, and then other cities might turn into like slums because anybody and everyone who has no access to teleportation of any sort would be like a second class citizen. It I think the social perception would just be there, right? Um, you would just be. It wouldn't be people crossing borders as the new. Those who can and can't jump would be the new foreigners crossing borders of today. It's like, oh, we got to come up with a really offensive thing to call people who can't teleport or who have no access to teleporting. Walkers, um, something concrete, stable, unmoving, petrified. Come on, there's um, slugs. I don't know. Slugs. Yeah, snails. Yeah, snails. Yeah, we have. listen, somebody's got to come up with some kind of derogatory term to call the people who just, oh, you can't, you've never jumped before? Oh, you're one of those people. Yeah. As you see, my teeth are firmly tied together. That's how I talk when I am, expressing my arrogance. Yes. But, but you guys get the point, right? Now, I could imagine there would definitely be people who would want to keep teleporting out of the hands of snails and serfs and slugs, right? Mudfoots, yeah. What are you, a Mudfoot? Yeah, you're a Mudviller, aren't you? Yeah, I could see that. Maybe even keeping certain city services away from them, or all the snails are left in the most dangerous places to live. In places where it floods, burns, mudslides, hurricanes, earthquakes, um, chemical spills, heavy crime, places that have no city services, power outages, brownouts, fires happening all the time. Like I said, with the uh, uh, smog, bad uh, breathing. You know what? You get what I'm talking about. The air has particulates in it. Um, uh, Terrible food access to nutritious food services and things like that. So I could see people living in places, the Mudfoots would live there, and the people with access to teleporting. Not that they themselves could teleport, but maybe they just have access to the technology. Slaggers, I could see that. People who are like, it would combination of like a slacker and people who lag behind. Yeah. Or like metal slag, just like dripping and useless kind of thing. Yeah. I'm liking this. I'm liking this world. And the people who do have access to it, I could see there being a faction who specifically is trying to prevent the lower folk from having access to that technology, right? Or attempting to kill, kidnap, retrain, etc. the the children so that they don't end up rising up against the people who do have it, right? I mean, like mutants in the X-Men, there may be a concerted effort to prevent the births or contain the births of the people who can jump naturally. Um, That's right. Says, yeah, like metal slag. That crap is is useless. Yeah. Much like what is it like pouring concrete, and you get like you get the people who pour the concrete and they perfectly smooth out, a driveway, and then you get that crap on the outside, that the drying concrete slag that happens on the outside that's completely useless and stuff. Yeah, I'm feeling you. Like you said, metal slag that just drips down the side and it's useless. I'm really feeling this world. I could imagine there would be different professions and classes and styles of teleporters. PC wise, your blinkers, your farcasters, your mass haulers, MASS, being able to grab things. Oh, you're so wrong. Joseph Keenan says slum cities, like places here in the Rust Belt, Ashtabula, Ohio, Gary, Indiana, etc. Dude, I'm right. It's right up north. You're hitting me in the heart there. You punched me right in the feels, dude. Yeah, you slum cities, slum cities where the okay, we have to have a new name for the upper folk, the teleporting folk. We need a really good name for them, because they're blinkers. Yeah, blinkers could, they like to, much like the rich going into the poor neighborhoods to go get their, get their drugs, get their tallywhacks. Slaggots. You know what? I get it, dude. It's fine if you're un-PC about it. That's kind of what it would be, right? Yeah. I I I think something like that. I maybe listen. Let me say it before you guys say it. Maybe the people in the slums call the people that are blinkers, bliggers. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, that hurts. But yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Just seeing them come into your small town. It's all hey, you might come from the slums, but this is your home. And these people who think that they're all that, surrounded by their far casting mercenary groups going trying to slum in, hang out in your location. Yeah, yeah. Joe says, I'm between Ashtabula and Erie. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, you're up there. Geneva on the Lake. Yeah, Ashtabula, Erie. What's the other one? Co- Covenant? Uh, Cayuga? You're up there? Yep. Wow. Deadman says San Francisco and LA are becoming slum cities. Yeah, yeah. You're right. If you, for those who don't know, um, when you see the glitz and glamour of the major cities of California, that's television and movies. It, when you go there, it's not like that. What is it? Santa Monica Pier, all the homeless people that live in the parks outside Santa Monica Pier. Yeah, that's right. It says Judge Dredd used donk instead of the F word. Yep, yep. Drock, is it Drock? I can't pronounce it. Yep, Joseph Keenan says, or the blinkers keeping the lower classes at each other's throats, especially if you have an unattainable lottery system, is a good way of keeping people at each other's throats by randomly and or selectively picking people who are now brought into the blinkers world. So that in that way, the people who want to uprise against the blinkers to take them down, you're going to have another class of people living in the slums going, I'm not going to raise up my fist against them because I'm working I'm working to like become one of them, and if I work hard enough and keep my nose clean, I will become one of them. So yeah. Uh, that's right. It says, yeah, Drock, DBJ. Joseph Keenan says, can you it? Yep, that's where I'm at. I rag on it, but it's not as bad as I make it out. There's some cool people here. Oh yeah, oh hell yeah. That's the thing uh, about stereotypes, right? And that might be a big thing that shapes this world where, oh, the slums are where the poorer, lazy, less intelligent people live, and then the blinkers are the rich, affluent, intelligent, civilized people, and we all know that neither of those stereotypes mean anything, right? It's the people who claim to be the most civilized and avant-garde are probably some of the most apathetic, can become some of the most apathetic, sadistic, sadomasochistic individuals in the world, whereas there are people who live in some of the poorest um, regions. Hell, even today, you will find the poorest homeless population, because of their status, are far more willing to literally give the shirt off their back to someone because they understand what it means to not have a shirt. You know what I mean? So you will definitely find that there are huge swaths of very poor people who will give, if I've got $2, I'll keep $1. Here's $1 to you because I think you need it. And I could see that being a truism amongst the confluence between Blinker and Slagger society, and maybe the player characters inhabit a world between the two, not quite embraced by Blinker society and not quite embraced by the Slagger society. Keenan says Conneaut. I mispronounced it. Like you originally from Philadelphia area. Mistake brought me out here. I still refer to her as the Hulk. um, oh, I didn't know you were. Oh, you're saying like me. You're originally from the Philadelphia area. A mistake brought me out here. Yeah, that's a thing. So being taken away from your home to another place, and hey, kitty. All right, guys, I've got to get out of here. And you guys too. I gotta let you go. I gotta let you guys teleport your way to the rest of your lives. But please, 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 anyone who sees this, please transport yourself back here, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard time, same place, Monday through Friday. Next week there's a major holiday, Thanksgiving here in the States. I will still be doing a show. Whether you're able to participate or not, don't feel like you have to. That's right. It says, I am between blaggards and slaggards myself. Yeah. Joseph Keenan says, yeah, poor people tend to help each other out more because they've been down and know where it's know how it is. Yeah. Everybody have a great day, Scott. Everybody have a great day. Thank you very much for joining me. You guys, your time is very valuable. I appreciate everyone spending it here with me. Everybody, take it easy.